Hello, beautiful trading community. This is your daily review for Monday, October 28th. What are we going to look at today? Tools. If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail. Keep that in mind while we look at the charts for today. This is YM Futures, 1 minute candles, TradingView, and this is not the 28th. If you look at the bottom here, this is Wednesday, October 23rd. Why are we looking at this day? Because if you remember, if you watched my videos from last week, price was ranging at the start of the day. I don't like to trade the first half hour, and that was the low of the first half hour and the high of the first half hour, and it stayed like that for almost 2 hours. And it's tough to trade in such a tight range. If you take a look, this range was 167 points. So I recommended wait for price to break out of that range so it could start doing better trends, and it did. There was some longer trends later in the day. So keep that in mind. This was 167 points. Now let's look at Monday, October 28th. I'll widen this up so you can see more clearly. So remember, that was 167 points. This day, yesterday, the Monday, October 28th, was 165 points for the whole day. That was the low of the day. That was the high of the day. If you waited, let's see, this is the first half hour. If you waited for the first half hour to see the low and high, and you decide to wait for price to break out of that range before you started trading, you'd be waiting the whole day. Price never broke out of that range. So what do? Well, if you try to trade the trend, as I normally do, because the trend is your friend, usually, you have a tough day. So here we get some momentum. Excuse me, things are going up, and we get some good gains here, but only for about 5 minutes. And then price reverses and comes back down. The trend is over, your gains are gone. Similarly, we start seeing price go back up again, hits this pivot point standard line. This was the high for most of the day, and then price comes back down, erasing your gains again. And here you try it again. It looks like you get some momentum. We're going up again, and nope, price switches, comes back down. This was, 5 minutes up and the 5 minutes back down. It's tough to trade the trend when you do that. So here we went on a good good trend. But that was one of the few trends for the day. Most of it was consolidation and short moves. So what do we do? If the trend is not working for us, what do? Well, we have to have more than one tool. We could try scalping the range. Let's try that. So let's grab the short here and we'll say 40 points. Price came up to the previous high there and starts coming down. So we're going to say that's the top of the range. We're going to start going down. Let's say we're getting right here. Could we make 40 points? Almost. We could have made 34 points. So 30 points would be safer. And then if you have a quick trigger finger, you can capture those gains before it starts moving back up. But you can have a defined target like 20 or 30 points on a day where price is ranging. So price moves back up, starts coming back down again. Could we get another 30 points? We could. If we get it right there, we could. We could have got in lower as well. Got 30 points. Oh, but not that far, right? There. We could have got 30 points if we got in there. And then, of course, this was a good run. We could have got easily 30 points there. Could you have gotten more? Sure, you could. If you waited for price to break through the trend line, which I love to do, then you could have got out there and you could have got about 80 points with that move. But that was one of the few moves like that. Most of it was just up and down consolidation. We'll take a quick look. So it looks like price is breaking up here. We have some good momentum, but that only lasts a few minutes before it switches back down, erasing your gains. Starts moving back up. You think, oh, okay, that was just a pullback. Nope. This was the new high of the range, and this is the low of the range. You can see I drew a line through it, and the price stayed like that for more than an hour. Yep. And then price finally broke up out of the range, but only very briefly before it gets in the new, even tighter range. So now we're in a range that looks like, let's see, and here, this is a 34-point range, and it stays like that for 2 hours. It's tough to trade that. Even if you're scalping, it's tough. Price hits the top here. You could put your stop loss just a tiny bit above and go short and try to pick up 20 points. And if you do that, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you probably get stopped out if you did it here. You could have made a little bit, but it's not easy. It might be easier just to take the day off and not trade because that's too tough. Finally, price broke out of this tight range, but only for a few candles before moving back down. This was a good run at the end of the day, but I don't trade at the end of the day. Too difficult, too much chop, too many traps and spinning blades. So the point of today is you need more than one tool. If you're just trading the trend, which usually works great on most days, that was not the tool for today. You need more tools in your toolbox. Keep that in mind. Good luck.